thanks for joining us, everybody. Questions for our student athletes? We'll start with Justin.
Leroy, just talking about, nice to meet you first.
Nice to meet you.
Just take us through your recruitment to Arizona, how all that started, and why you decided to come here.
Many of you guys don't know, I went to JUCO right after high school for 2 years. And, I wasn't really recruited my first year. And then my second year, I kind of blew up. And, I know as much as Coach Danny, don't like me for this, but, at first I was committed to West V. And, I took my trip up there. I really liked it. And then I already got a call to coach by Joe Salvea. He called me right after my trip. It was a big surprise. And, he let me know, he's hopping on the Arizona train. He said he would love for me to, hop on with him. So that's how I got here.
I mean, you said you blew up in your second year. What allowed you to just go from year one to year two and have that kind of year?
Well, I would just say, my maturity from year one to year two. Year one coming right out of high school, I don't think I really took it as serious, as I should have. And then second year, I know like it's my last year. If I don't make it, then I don't make it. So, just continue to grow my game and, take it serious more than the first year. I think that's what really made me blow up.
For Gio, you're obviously sort of expanding your role, getting a little bit more playing time, getting more opportunities. How would you describe what the the process has been like over the course of your freshman year as you're learning the ropes here in college football?
I would say my process is just growth. Like, I just got to grow to be the best player for this year and next year. So whatever role they have me playing this year or whatever I have to do to get on the field this year to grow as a player for next year, then that's what I'm going to take to do, is to be the best player for this team this year and next year.
When you had some plays that maybe you probably thought you should have made earlier in the season and you didn't come down with the ball, what are lessons that you take from those plays that maybe you applied to,
Yeah.
additional opportunities that you get?
Well, we just look over the film with Bobby, everything that, like, all the little things that led to me not making the play. Like, did I let up on the release, or did I not swipe his hand down? Did I not look up for the ball, or all that? Just the little things to just make sure I do it next time. We just honed in on them, and then we got it fixed. So.
Have you learned that you can't get away with that stuff at this level?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a different game. They're a lot better players. High school, it was just, I was kind of faster than everybody, so I just really used that and used my athletic ability that I was given to just take over in high school, which was a lot different here.
Justin? Gio, can you take us through your touchdown? Just describe the emotions and the feelings of scoring your first career touchdown.
Yeah, before that drive started, I was told I was going to stay on the field when we went back in 11 personnel. So we were in 20 at first, and then we ran a play. I caught the little screen for 3 yards, and then I stayed on the field for 11, and then we checked the play we had. It was a little dig route that I had, caught that, and then it really was just like, well, run fast at that point. Coach B being on me about that all week, about just playing fast, used my ability to the best that I can. So that's what I did, just ran fast and then got to the end zone.
And then Leroy, can you talk about the transition from junior college to here, and the process, and just kind of the early stages when you got to Arizona, and some of the things you had to work through?
Yeah, I would probably say, it was a big reality check because, JUCO wasn't really, I wouldn't say as hard as it is right now. Practices, my first practice in spring, I would say I still getting used to, like, the scheme and, just running to the ball. Just more and more practices for it. I feel like I got more used to it, and, just being with Coach G and Coach Joe, just on me every day, about, just trying to be my best. I think that was a big step up, from spring to now.
Leroy, you said you had visited West Virginia, and you were maybe considering going there until Joe Salavea calls you.
Right.
When Joe Salavea calls you, what is your reaction? Did you know him before? Does that just carry a lot of weight?
I did know him before. I knew of him. He had came by to recruit one of my teammates when he was at Florida, and when he called me, I probably had the biggest smile on my face, you know, for him just to give me that call and say, you know, I want you here, you know, I'm gonna be your coach, you know. I really love that about it. So, you know, I'm happy I'm here now.
Sure. And now that you've been coached by him, what are some of the points that he tries to emphasize to you and your group on a daily basis?
Probably the, you know, our technique and our fundamentals, you know, just striking, just be able to get off the ball. You know, probably say this last bye week was a really good week for us because, you know, we slowed it down. You know, we went back to the fundamentals that we were doing before our season, and I think that really helped us, you know, get this big win over Colorado.
And what have you learned, you know, playing alongside guys like Tia Savea and Deshaun Knight, you know, two guys that share your position but maybe a little bit older?
Yeah, you know, I really love playing by them. You know, Tia, he taught me, he's been teaching me a lot, you know, film-wise, you know, off the field, and just being able to, you know, watch Deshaun on the field, it's crazy, like, see how fast he is to move at his size. You know, I really get a lot of hope from him and Tia, you know, just being able to be by their size, you know, at practice, you know, giving me the ins and outs of what it takes to be a D lineman, you know, just being fast and being strong is what I really love about them.
And so far, what has been your favorite part about the experience of playing at Arizona? Do you have like one moment that really stands out to you?
I'll probably just say, you know, just, you know, being on that field, you know, everybody around us, you know, the student section, the fans, you know, everybody just watching us, like the 11 guys on the field. That's just it's a eye-opening moment for me because, you know, last year I wasn't, you know, we probably only had like 20 fans in our stands. So, you know, that's what I really like about Arizona.
So, sort of similar question for you, Gio. How would you describe the relationship that you and Isaiah have with the older receivers in the league?
Yeah, me and Isaiah's relationship, first of all, is great because we went on our when we were getting recruited here, me and Isaiah both had the K-State offer. So we both took our OV to K-State, and then we just grew up there because Trey Spivey was my host at K-State. So, because he's an Arizona kid, of course. And then we were all kicking it there, and then he was like, yeah, I'm taking an OV to Arizona next week. I was like, me too, bro. Like, that's crazy. So we both went over there, and then we just clicked ever since. And then I think our relationship together, seeing us come in, the older guys seeing us how we clicked was just well, we already knew some of Trey. I played high school with against Trey and all that. B. Phelps, Arizona kid. So I feel like I was already kind of connected to the room. And my relationship with Bobby is Bobby recruits great people. So personality wise, so it wasn't hard for me and Mizell to get brought into the group. I feel like it was actually very easy. We have a great personality in the group. Everybody enjoys working with everybody and pushing everybody to be better. So
did Bobby talk to you guys at all about the penalty that he got at Houston, and did he have any sort of lessons or?
Yeah, I mean, you can always grow from a penalty. So he really wasn't really that big of a deal for him in the film in our room. He didn't really sit down in the receiver room talking about how he got a penalty. So no.
For both you guys, you kind of had this breakthrough this last week after two really close losses, and Coach Brennan said the practices were really physical and aggressive, and there was an anger that you had. So you had that motivation, right? What is the motivation now going into this week? What is that primary?
I would say our motivation is for this week is just to get the next month to work with each other. We want to play another month together, so we just got to keep working to play that another month together.
I'll probably say, motivation is just, just the next day trying to be great, and watching this next opponent, Kansas. They're a really good team. Jaden Daniels, I see he has a good arm. He can run the ball well, and our motivation is just planning to get after Jaden Daniels, and that's all we need.
Gio, Noah is 3 touchdowns away from becoming the all-time touchdown leader in Arizona history. Do you guys ever talk about that?
No, I think Noah's a very humble guy. I don't think that's really what he's thinking about right now. I think he's really just thinking about being the best player he can for this team and building the best players around them. So I don't really think he is focused. I haven't talked to Noah personally about him being that close to it because I really ain't even know that. So not really.
Leroy, over the last couple games, we've seen more production out of Zach Cialepa. What do you make of just kind of the personality, the person that he is, and what does he bring to the defensive line?
I love Zach. You know, we always talk. We always talking off the field. You know, just for him to be able to move like that at 400 pounds, it's crazy. You know, that's just kind of motivates me to, you know, try to run faster because Zach runs fast for a big guy. And, you know, I just love being around him. You know, he's funny. He's a hard worker, too. You know, he comes every day. He wants to work. And, you know, he's right there beside us wanting to learn. And I really love Zach.
And what do you guys do as a defensive line group to, you know, spend time with each other and develop that camaraderie and chemistry?
You know, outside of the field, you know, we're always hanging out with each other. You know, either if it's 2 of us, you know, or 3 of us or the whole group. You know, we just love to spend time with each other outside, you know, take some steam off and get right back to it the next day at practice.
And what do you think about just kind of the Polynesian influence that this program has?
I really like it, you know. It's probably the most polys I've played with for a long time. And, you know, just being able to see, you know, the Samoan culture, the Hawaiian culture, because I don't really know that much until I really got here. You know, just being able to play with Julian and Mace, you know, see where they come from, and being, you know, Gavin, Hunter, and Nella, you know, being from Hawaii, you know, talking to me about, you know, where they came from and how they grew up. You know, I really enjoyed being with them.
Finish up with Michael.
One for Gio and then one for both. It seems like the chemistry is better the last few games between the receivers and Noah than maybe the first few games. Do you think that's just more reps, more time? Is it overall like everyone's just kind of more comfortable with the terminology and the system? What do you think that is?
I would just say that's like football. We get better the longer we play, so I would just say we're starting to click, and I think we're about to have a big turnover soon.
And then for both of you guys, who do you think is the best singer on the team?
As a singer,
Nella, probably.
probably say Chuba or
Sue
June.
could sing, right?
I think Sue could sing.
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest.
I'll probably say Chuba.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.